Welcome back to Eyewitness News this morning, joined by Charley O'Hara here to answer your legal questions. And we do have a caller on the line right now with a question. So, hey, caller, if you're there, you can go ahead now. Ask your question to Charley.
Yes, I was wondering. I was in a bank. I was at a bank at the drive-thru, sitting there at the drive-thru, and I was in a big pickup, and a little car came in and rear-ended me. I had to pick up and park. I was waiting for my money to come back out of the drive-thru. She shoved me right off in the other side, about 10, 12 foot. Do I have a case like that? And my back is hurting me now. My bottom, my heel, knocked my hat and everything off. Do I have a case for that or what?
Well, yeah, I would. I mean, obviously, anytime an accident and it's somebody's fault, they're responsible for the damages from that accident. So they'd be responsible for the damage to your car. If it physically hurts you and hurts your back and it's an extensive injury, obviously you're going to have a case. And depending on how bad that injury is how bad that case is going to be. What you probably need to do is go see an attorney. Attorneys in that area usually practice on a contingency basis, which means if you don't win anything, if they don't win anything in the lawsuit, you don't have to pay them. They just take a percentage out of what you win. Now, they're careful on what kind of cases they take because obviously they don't want to invest a bunch of money and then lose the case. So they look at a case and see what merit it has. But I think if something like that happened to you, you ought to get a hold of one of those attorneys and see what you can do.
All right, interesting one there. Again, it depends on time, too. You can't have that happen 6 months ago and then 6 months later try to make something happen.
Well, probably 6 months you can.
Yeah.
But when it gets longer than that, when you get years, you may have let what we call the statute of limitations go, and then you don't have a lawsuit. You got to file it quickly.
Okay, Charley, one thing a friend of mine had asked me before, and this is a question from him. A friend of his owns a rental property. People hadn't paid in 5 months for their rent, so he went to court to evict them. They didn't show. They defaulted. When he got to the property, found out that things were missing: a washer and dryer and a lawnmower, and they had left 2 aggressive pit bulls in the backyard as well. What is he supposed to do about that? Is there a question there?
Well, yeah, I would think you'd call animal control. Now, I don't know. It very well may be that they didn't help the individual. I don't know what happened. But I would think that you ought to call the authorities and animal control, and if not, some shelter for an animal. And then if you can't do that, I think you're going to have to find some way to dispose of the animals and have to call around. Okay.
And that's a difficult situation, too, because is the guy just going to be out that washer and dryer, you think? Because, I mean, those people already weren't paying on their rent.
Well, he could sue them, but obviously if you sue someone that doesn't have any money, all you do is get a judgment to collect the money, and if they don't come up with the money, you have a judgment, and you've spent all this money trying to collect it, and they don't have anything. When people are broke, you can't get any money out of them. You can't put them in jail for not having money. And
it would just cost you money, probably, to go through that litigation process against them.
And again, that's something you have to do. I would kind of call that a balancing test. Is it worth the money to spend all this money to sue them? Some people just want to get even. Usually, if you're pretty pragmatic, you want to, does it cost you more to mess with it than it's worth?
Interesting. All right, thanks so much, Charley. Really appreciate you being here. Appreciate your phone call.